Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tal. You can also find me on Facebook in the Sorcerers Guild. Today on Magical Theory, we are going to begin a series on self-defense through sorcery, beginning with shielding. Now, shielding is a necessary aspect of sorcery on all three levels of existence. By that, I mean the mental, the physical, and the astral planes. On the mental and the astral planes, this is actually akin to hygiene in a way. And in previous videos, I've talked about having a cohesive astral form. And by that, I mean being aware of your image and how you are shaped on the astral. We have done that through meditations of what our astral form looks like, and even smoothing out our astral form and projecting our energy through different parts of our body. These things help keep our astral form cohesive and strong so that negative energy can't cling to it in the first place. And this prevents not just negative energy, but also intentions. Now, when you do shielding, you are actually creating a shielding or shield around you to block negative intentions and negative energy that could cling to you. When you go into places that have negative energy around them, potentially, such as slaughterhouses, hospitals, anywhere where there's been a lot of death or just negative emotion and sadness, you can actually just create a small bubble around you. You envision a small bubble coming out about a foot off of you in all directions, and simply it doesn't allow any ill-intentioned or negative energy past it. You just have to simply visualize that and tell yourself this. And that keeps it out. If it gets too much, you can actually even imagine a reflective surface like a mirror on the outside, and that'll actually bounce that energy off of you. This works not just for that shielding of negative energy, but that is also the first step to avoiding any psychic vampires, whether conscious or unconsciously, that are pulling emotional energy from you. Visualizing that shield will actually prevent the leak and prevent their hunger from penetrating into you. Now, shielding is also necessary when enters onto the astral plane, and can be done in a very similar manner. Before you go to sleep, you simply imagine yourself entering into a bubble where nothing with ill intention can get past you. And you actually want to just imagine that inflating around you as you go to sleep, just like blowing up. You can even, if you want, go and imagine inflating around you. If the things get more aggressive, you can actually imagine barbed wire or thorns on the outside of the bubble, preventing things from coming in around you. And then once you have entered into the dream realm and achieved a lucid dream or astral projection, either way, whether you were meditating or sleeping, and if something comes near you, you can use this same technique as a visualization on the astral plane itself to keep the thing from actually being able to touch you and attempt to cause any harm. Now, as I said, this is also something that can be done on the physical plane. Now, I'm not suggesting that one can imagine a bubble around themselves when they go into a bad part of town, somewhere where there might be muggers or something like that, and if someone tries to attack them, that they'll imagine a shielding and it's just going to stop their fist in midair. I'm not suggesting that. That isn't how this type of shielding works. How it works is that potential predatory people will either not notice you or not see you as a target for some reason. Often, if I am intentionally creating a shielding in this type of situation, I will make myself appear as someone who has very little, but will fight very hard to keep that small amount. Therefore, I look like someone they have very little to gain from bothering, and someone they have a lot to lose from bothering, because I will fight very hard for that little bit that they have to gain. So, on the physical plane, what we are doing with this type of shielding is preventing the possibility of harm rather than actually preventing the harm directly. And a little bit more to say about that, as like I said, if you're going into a negative area, it just defers the possibility into other areas. It can even make you appear stronger. Some people like to use shielding of this manner where they will use the rune tear to make themselves look stronger and more aggressive. This is one possibility, But I feel like if you use something to make yourself simply look stronger or more aggressive, that does deter some types of danger, but then you also have them guys that are looking for a fight. And guys like that, they don't necessarily pick on the guy that looks like the weakest guy in the room. They have a tendency to go pick on the big guy. So you've put on this shielding to protect yourself with the rune of Tyr, and you look big and strong, and then there's this 6'7" guy in the corner that's gotten good and drunk, and he sees you and he goes, oh, that's the guy I want to fight. He looks like a good fight. And so now your shielding, rather than protecting you, has actually caused you an issue. So that is something to be taken into consideration when shielding. This is not an area of boastfulness. This is an area where you want to create something that will keep the harm from happening rather than drawing attention to you. Okay, so that will be it for this episode of Magical Theory. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please take the opportunity to do so now. Don't forget to join us on Friday for another episode of Sorcery in Action, where I will be doing a demonstration with the rune Iwaz for defense, and how to create a magical charm with the rune Iwaz for magical self-defense on both the astral and physical planes. Until then, okay, so this has been Sorcerer Tal. Thank you for joining us. Until then, bright blessings and an interesting fate. This has been Sorcerer Tal.